Hello, my quilting friends. My name is Leah Day, and we are quilting with pattern eClipse. I'm going to stitch out this beautiful feather border and cut it out to perfectly fit the border of this quilt. So let's get started. So I am in the pantograph area of QCT 6 Pro with Gold Card. We are going to select the feathers design. So this is in Patterns, Leah Day, and feathers. We're going to open this up, and I want to make sure that this is the right width for my quilt, so I'm going to use this ruler tool. So I'm going to grab that ruler, and we're going to roll the machine over and line this up with this stitching line here that I've already echo ditched on the quilt. On the screen with that lined up, I'm going to tap that button. That's going to give me a line across showing me the length that we're measuring. Now we're going to roll across, and here I'm lining up the machine with that stitching line on the opposite block. This is making sure the border fits within that. Here on the screen, I'm going to tap that button, and that's going to give me that measurement across. And we're going to hit Apply Measurement, and now this is going to log in with the total width. Now I have already set the height at 5 and the pattern height at 5 because that's the size that I want. And then you can play with how many you want. You know, you can see how fewer feathers are going to result in a bigger feather design, but I really think that 7 looked really nice through here. So that is my design created within QCT 6 Gold, and now it's time to place as a single pattern. So we're going to come in here, and it's wanting to do 4 points. I want to actually change this to 2 points. Just 2 points on both ends, and stretch to stretch it between those 2 points from edge to edge. So we're going to start over here, rolling the machine all the way back, and I actually took a ruler, lined it up here about 1/4 inch away from that top edge, coming down, and I know that I want that to start right there. So I'm actually marking the quilt with my starting point. We're always lining up the needle of the machine with that point exactly. And then here on the screen, we're going to tap that node. It's going to pop down and get us in that position. Now let's roll over to the opposite side. I want to measure down. And for this, it's 2 5/3 down. Make that mark. Line up with that mark, and we're going to tap that node. You see how that pulled it across, it stretched it to fit, and now it's looking great within that space. Now if ever you feel like you've tweaked it or you moved the machine a little bit, you can always just tap that node again just to tweak it a little bit. Now we're going to hit quilt, and just in looking at the design and looking at my quilt, if I'm not sure about my placement, let's say I'm not quite sure about where everything is within this, I could go back and use my marking tool. So understand that you always have that marking tool where you can mark your outline of your space to be able to see where everything is. But this looks good to me. And now I want to punch out. So let's see what we are actually punching out in this situation. This is where we're using our pattern eClipse, and we are going to clip out around these blocks within the border, so that way the border stitches around them. So let's learn how to do this. We're going to go into plugins and pattern eClipse. I've actually already done my outline of where I want this to be clipped out, and all I did to create this was I rolled my machine over to a point, and then I tap that add button. I'm making sure that I am going to be keeping in, which means I want the design to be kept into that area, and all I did was I rolled the machine over to a point, and then I had tapped add. I rolled back to this point, and then I tapped add. If you ever mess up, just hit remove. And so this is looking really good. I'm really happy with how that's going to get cut out, and we're going to hit OK. So here is my design all clipped out and looking good. You can see over here I'm trimmed up just a little bit, and if I want to, I can go back and adjust this placement just a little bit, just to bring that back just a hair. And that way, as I clip out, it's going to have just a little bit more stitching to stitch over. Here I'll show you the difference. Now whenever you hit back, you're going to have to go into your eClipse a second time. So you can see right now it's not clipped out. We're going to go back into that plugin, Pattern eClipse again. It does save it. It saves what you've already clipped twice. It just takes a minute to load. And so now you can see I'm clipping out a lot more right here, which I like that better. We're going to hit OK. But oops, I made a mistake. I clipped out the wrong thing. We're going to back out. We're going to go back into Quilt. We're going to tap on Plugins, Pattern eClipse, and this time make sure that Keep In is selected. There we go. Hit OK. And it's going to do it again. This time you can see that's going to be clipped out a little bit better. That's going to be clipped out a little bit better. But now we're getting this weird line coming through here, and I don't want that. So we'll go back in, Pattern eClipse. We're going to set it to Keep In. And we are going to set it to Sew Continuous. Let's see what it gives us this time. I like that a lot better. Now we've got a clip out and a clip out, and clip out, but we don't have that line. So I like that a lot better. So to get started stitching, we're just going to pull our bobbin. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned a lot about quilting with Pattern eClipse. This is a powerful tool found in QCT Pro with Gold Card, and it's one of my favorite techniques to do with QCT 6. So if you'd like to learn more, come and check out my full tutorial on QCT Gold. You can find it at leahday.com/gold. Until next time, let's go quilt.